So the total fees he needs to pay is only 23,100 versus if you were to buy outright the landed with ABSD, it'll be at 360,000. That's about 10 times the difference. Hi, I'm Caleb, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about decoupling. Who is it for? What is it used for? Why do people use it? And how can you do it for yourself as well? Let's jump right straight into it. So decoupling. So what is it? It is simply to remove the name of one of the owners in the property so that he or she can buy a property without it being ABSD. Typically, it's for people who are joint owners in one single property. So I have to remove this person's name so that this particular person can buy another property without paying ABSD. So, and also it's for people who wants to cash out from their property appreciation as well. So when can you do it? Typically, we'll do it after 3 years from purchase to avoid the seller's stamp duty. And also, you'll do it when the value of your property has increased significantly and you want to be able to buy a second property as well. Another factor is when the outstanding loan is a lot lower compared to the value of the property. Because if the outstanding loan is a lot higher, at the end of the day, you won't get much cash. Who can do it? So the people that can qualify to do it is people who do not have any other residential property in Singapore, because otherwise it defeats the purpose already. And both owners must be working as well. And the buyer's income must be able to take up a new loan for the property. Because at the end of the day, the buyer income has to be sufficient such that he or she is able to take up the loan on her own income capacity as well. So how does this work, and what are the checklists you need to do before you go about embarking it? So owner A has to sell his shares of the property to owner B. So before he goes ahead and do it, you need to check on a few things. First, the outstanding loan of the property. Second, the CPF usage of the owner that is selling the property itself. Third, the valuation of the property. Fourth is the purchase date of the property, because you want to check on the seller's stamp duty. Fifth is how many property does owner A and owner B has, because if they have more than one, then it's pretty pointless to do so already. And the loan eligibility of owner B and owner A as well. So let's give you an example so that you can have a clearer picture of it. So an example will be Alan and Serene are thinking of buying a 3 million landed property. But now they own a condo valued at 1.5 million under joint tenancy and do not want to sell it. They want to avoid the ABSD and thought of doing decoupling. The outstanding loan for their condo is about 600,000 and Ellen's CPF usage is about 200,000. So Serene's age and income is 40 and 10k respectively, and she has 200,000 in her CPF OA. So the question is, will it be feasible for Ellen and Serene to decouple so that at the end of the day, Alan is able to buy the property on his own? So let's go straight into the example. So this is the scenario that I've painted the example just now. So in that scenario, what happens is that both seller and buyer is Singaporean, and Alan wants to buy a landed property that costs about 3 million. So in which the ABSD that he needs to pay is about $360,000. His current condo is about 1.5 million valuation and the outstanding loan is about 600,000. And it being a joint tenancy, they have a share of 50% and 50% each. So his CPF accrued interest and the principal have used up about $200,000. So this is where he sells his 50% shares to Serene. So 750,000 minus away loan, minus away CPF use and legal fees, at the end of the day, he will be getting back about 247,000. Whereas for Serene, the purchase price that she will be paying is 750,000 plus stamp duty of 17,100 plus legal fees of $3,000, and at the end of the day, she'll be paying about 770,000 altogether. So the loan wise, at the end of the day, she'll be getting 75% loan of this purchase price of 562,500, cash of 37,500, and CPF of about $170,000. So definitely her CPF, she has enough. She has 200,000 and she can use this 170,000 that she has also. So total loan that she'll be getting at the end of the day is 862,000, because it's a summation of this 300,000, half of 600,000 is 300,000 plus another 562,500. So total new loan is about 862,500. So the fees that they need to pay when they do this decoupling is first stamp duty, 17,100. Second, legal fees, $6,000. Total fees they'll be paying about 23,100. Okay, so at the end of the day, the cash proceed that he'll be getting back is about 247,000. That's selling, minus all of the cash that he will be paying of about 37,500. So total cash proceed at the end of the day is 209,500. But let's look at it at another point of view. If the loan is $1 million, loan is $1 million, at the end of the day, the cash proceed that they'll be getting out is only 9,500. So it might not be worthwhile doing so if your loan is very high. So the questions that we need to ask at the end of the day, Alan needs to sell his property share to Serene. The question is, how much cash can he get back? He can get back about 200,000+ because he will sell his property shares to Serene as well. So will he save in stamp duties and all other fees? Definitely. So the total fees he needs to pay is only 23,100 versus if you were to buy outright the landed with ABSD, it will be at 360,000. That's about 10 times the difference. So he will definitely save in stamp duties and all other fees. Will it be worth it compared to buying the landed outrightly? Definitely. Okay, let me share with you whether should you do it or not. Yes, you should do it if you fulfill these two criteria. It's good to do it if it saves cost at the end of the day. That instead of paying $360,000 for the stamp duty, you're only paying $23,100 in terms of stamp duty. Doing this will help because you get to save 10 times the amount, more than 10 times actually. Okay, and you are able to cash out the sales proceed because Alan is able to get about 209,000 for his next property. So actually doing this will help at the end of the day. But in certain circumstances, it might not help at the end of the day. So if Alan's income is not able to take up on the loan on his own, it will not be advisable. For a 3 million property, he needs to be earning somewhere about $15,000 to $20,000 in monthly salary. If he does not have this income, then maybe he's not advisable for him to do so. So if they have more than one property right now, they are not able to do this decoupling at all because at the end of the day, he still needs to pay the 12% ABSD or even 15% if he is going to be a third property as well. And the third thing is that if the loan amount is very high, like what I shared with you just now, it's pointless to do so because you can't encash out. Yes, you get to save in terms of the ABSD and stamp duty, but the whole point of decoupling is two objectives: get cash and save on ABSD. This is pretty much the entire guide when it comes to decoupling. If you have any questions specific relevant to your house, or you're thinking of doing decoupling, or you're not sure if you should be decoupling or selling or doing other possible scenarios, do drop me a call at the number below. I'll be glad to help you with it. Do help me like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.